Good morning, guys. Welcome to K's Road Treasure, and in today's video I'm gonna be talking about the red zones that Uber just brought back since the pandemic ended here in Massachusetts. And I'm also gonna talk about the side quests. So the red zones are simply when you have a lot of riders asking for rides and there is just a few drivers. What happens is what usually Uber does, it puts a certain amount of money depending on the demand and the Uber drivers that are there. So what happens is the more there is riders and no drivers, the more the money goes up. So that's why you've been seeing these things go from $1 or a few cents to $30 to $45. It's because people are demanding for the rides and there is no drivers to do it, and that is really interesting. But there is one thing that I have to mention here, is that if you're a new driver and you don't know how to work these things, it could really throw you off, because usually what happens is what you see on your map is what other people are seeing on their map. So what happens is if you keep chasing them, if you keep running down to go to where it's showing a lot of money, you're missing out, because what happens by the time you converge in that place, a lot of people actually are running towards it. So as soon as you get there, it reduces or even goes away all the way. So what you have to do, the way I do it, is I don't keep running to them, but I keep predicting and saying, oh, if this place is red, probably a lot of people are gonna go into it, and I drive just a few miles. I make sure I stay like a few miles out of the red zone, because I know if that's red, people are gonna diverge into that place, and the places that are outside it are gonna turn red real quick. Or what happens is I keep staying in the same areas that I know at one point are gonna get red. For example, if you're in Boston, you know that in the middle of Boston, Dorchester area is gonna get red in usually early mornings, and it gets way too red during traffic times. So you just make sure you get yourself in that area. And when you work the app for a couple of, for some time, you get to predict, you get to know exactly where the demand is going to be at what time, and where the drivers are not going to be at what time, and it's really lucrative that at one point you feel like, say you do a ride that is going to be only say $10, and then they put like $20 or $25 on it. That is really lucrative. Like at one point you feel like you're adding up real fast. And if you can do shorter rides in that period of time, it means if there is a surge of about $10, and then you do a quick ride of say 10 minutes, you can still keep yourself in that same area. If you can do 2-3 rides where you have $10 extra, or say $15 extra, you're gonna go away with $45 in 3 rides on top of what Uber would have paid you originally. So that's how the red zones work, and it's really interesting that now that he had just come back, it's very, very unstable. I have to mention that it's really very unstable. It could show up $20 extra, and in the next 5 minutes it's gone away. But usually what it used to be a lot more firmer, that it could be say a surge of $5 and it stays on for about 35 minutes to an hour. But now it's very unstable and a little bit more unpredictable, that it can stay on for only a few seconds, or it can go on for a good 45 minutes. It's very unpredictable right now. Like today morning, what I started off with is I got as soon as I started my job like this, there wasn't even any red showing on my map, but I was seeing a surge of $22, and all of a sudden I had to do it. I thought it was even a joke, but I did it and got the $22 when the red was not even there. It wasn't showing red at all, but it just happened that I got the $22. So it's very unpredictable. It's very kind of sketchy now, I know, because it's just coming back, and I know at one point it's gonna stabilize and everybody will be happy and know how to work it. Okay, The other thing that I want to talk about is the side quests. Side quests is the demarcated area where Uber says from this time to that time we're going to be paying this much amount of money for this amount of trips. When you see that, usually it's a good thing for you to drive towards it, because that one is very predictable and it's constant. For example, if they say you can do, if you do 3 rides in this middle of Boston or in this area, we're gonna give you $16. That one, drive to it, and you can plan ahead because it has the time fixed and it tells you exactly when it's gonna be happening and from what time to what time. So you just have to drive to that area and set your 3 consecutive rides in order for you to get the amount of X amount of money that would have been put on it. For example, today it is $16 for 3 rides in the middle of Boston and surrounding areas. And what I'm doing right now is I'm gonna walk my city for a few hours. I usually like going into the city when I have 10 rides. So I'm gonna walk my city for a few hours, maybe 2-3 hours, and then I drive into the city to make sure that I get some of that. And it's gonna be running from 9 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon. So you can see that is very predictable. But one thing you have to do with that is that when you start your ride, say you start counting 1 consecutive ride out of 3 rides, 2 rides, don't go offline. Whatever happens, don't go offline until you finish the 3 rides. Okay, and when you finish the 3 rides, then you can take a little break or you can do whatever you want, and then you go back on. But as soon as it starts counting 1-2 rides, don't go offline, because if you do set 2 rides towards the $16 or $18 and then you go offline, you lose it. And then if the time is still on, you have to start afresh counting those rides. So when you start on those rides, don't go offline, just stay with them and keep at it until you finish the 3 rides to get that little bonus. Usually it's about $16-18 sometimes. The one for today is going to be $16 between 9 and 1. You just have to stay with it. You just have to stay with it and don't go offline until you finish those 3 rides. So those are the 2 things I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to talk about the red zones and the surge, and then I also wanted to talk about the side quests where they demarcate off an area and say if you do 3 rides, we're going to give you this X amount of money. And I've explained how those work. And I hope that new drivers can really get onto that, because that's also another good way of making an extra money. I also promised to give you an update on what happened yesterday, because yesterday what we talked about, we were talking about how many rides that I chose for Saturday, and today is Sunday. So today is the finishing of my quest, and I need only 28 rides, because I did 31 yesterday and I did 31 on Friday. And now I need only 28 in order for me to be able to finish my quest to get the $350. But yeah, that was just to give you an update that yesterday I made an extra trip. So I made 31 trips. And today I'm looking for the 28. So I've just started. I'm done only 2 trips for today. And tomorrow I'll give you an update if I finish the quest. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And let's do this Uber thing together, man. I'll be back again tomorrow with another video. It's a video every day, guys, and tomorrow I'm gonna be talking about one thing that everybody keeps asking. Doesn't it get boring when you don't have a ride in between? What do you do? So tomorrow I'm gonna let you guys know what I do while I'm in between rides if I don't have a ride, which is usually sometimes not very often. But I actually sometimes keep getting no rides for some good amount of time. And I'm going to let you know what happens in between rides, what I usually do in between rides. So stay tuned, guys, and I hope to see you again in tomorrow's videos. Please subscribe and let me know if you have any questions or anything in the comment section. And please share. Let's grow together. Thank you, and bye-bye for now. Peace out.